Alright, we're going to start with the Bible story, which is John 20, 1 through 18. And it says, early on the first day of the week, while it was still dark, Mary Magdalene went to the tomb and saw that the stone had been removed from the entrance. So this takes place after the crucifixion. Mary Magdalene's got to the tomb, the stone is no longer there. So she came running to Simon Peter and the other disciples, the one that Jesus loved, and said, "They have taken the Lord from the tomb, and we do not know where they have put him." When she says the one that Jesus loved, it's talking about John. So Peter and the other disciples started for the tomb. Both were running, but the other disciples outran Peter and reached the tomb first. He bent over and looked in at the strips of linen lying there, but did not go in. Then Simon Peter came along behind him and went straight in the tomb. He saw the strips of linen lying there, as well as the cloth that had been wrapped around Jesus' head, and the cloth was still lying in its place, separate from the linen. So this is like what we were talking about last night. Peter's the one just to run into the tomb. Finally, the other disciples who had reached the tomb first also went inside. He saw and believed. They still did not understand from Scripture that Jesus was risen from the dead. It's not that they didn't believe that he was going to rise, it's just they didn't understand that he was actually rising from the dead. Then the disciples went back to where they were staying. Now Mary stood outside of the tomb crying. As she wept, she bent over and looked into the tomb and saw two angels in white, sitting where Jesus' body had been, one at the head and the other at the foot. They asked her, "Woman, why are you crying?" "They have taken my Lord away," she said, "and I do not know where they have put him." At this, she turned around and saw Jesus standing there, but did not realize that it was him. He asked her, "Woman, why are you crying? Who is it you are looking for?" Thinking he is the gardener, she said, "Sir, if you have carried him away, tell me where you have put him, and I will go get him." Jesus said, "Mary." She turned towards him and cried out in Aramaic, "Rabbi," which means teacher. Jesus said, Do not hold on to me, for I have not yet ascended to the Father. Go instead to my brothers and tell them, I am ascending to the Father, and your Father, and to my God, and to your God. Mary Magdalene went to the disciples with the news. "I have seen the Lord," and she told them that he had said these things. So when Jesus said he has not yet ascended and he will be ascending to his Father and our Father, he's talking about his Father and our spiritual Father, and his God and our God, which is all the same person. Right? Why do you think Mary did not realize that it was God, that it was Jesus when he approached her at the tomb? Ben, speak up. Okay. Anybody else?
What did you say?
I agree.
Say it again.
Because he was killed. Some of the reasons could be she was just filled with grief. She couldn't realize that it was actually him. And then another reason could be since it was his resurrected body, it looked different. And he could also have the scars he could still have the scars from crucifixion. You couldn't make out his face. Right? But when she realized it was him, she was filled with hope. And that allows us to be filled with hope too. So we know there's another way. And the nightly verse is John 14, 6. Does anybody know that verse? Addison? Yep. So in that verse, it's saying Jesus is the only way to God, right? He's the only way to get there. It's like if there was this huge cliff and we were on one side of the cliff and God was on the other. Jesus is the bridge connecting the two sides. There's no other way to make another bridge. You can't make a bridge by doing good deeds. You can't make a bridge by going to church. Jesus is the only bridge to take. And that's it.